everybody? Welcome to Qbaby's Let's Be Honest. I'm here for part 2 with my special guest.
Shanice.
And today's topic is going to be, for this part 2, is why don't relationships last? So, in your opinion, what do you think?
Nowadays, I feel like relationships don't last. It's the main reason is cheating. Cheating plays a very big part on why it don't last. Communication comes in second, and sex comes in third.
For me, personally, and my thoughts on it is 1, financial.
That is one.
2, intimacy. And 3, it's gonna have to be, it's definitely gonna have to be sex, because like, I think the main thing is that a lot of guys that do get in relationships, like, it starts out all good, and then once you get to that marriage stage, it's just like it just drop off a cliff. Or even in just relationship basic, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, a lot of women want monogamy, but they don't want to do the monogamous things. You know what I'm saying?
A lot of women want a husband, but don't want to be the wife. A lot of men want wives, but don't want to be the husband.
True. I would have to definitely agree. I think the real deep disconnect on it is probably the fact that men and women don't put their standards of what they want from each other to see if the standards that they have for each other can actually mesh.
Yes. And like I say, communication is key. That anybody would tell you communication is key. With me personally, I let you know what I'm looking for, how I feel like it should go. If it goes sideways, as long as we communicate, it's fine. If you can't communicate to me, we can't ever get past step 1 of trying to solve something. Me personally, I'm dating to marry. Most people don't do that. Most people would, when I tell them that, most dudes would be like, okay, well, I'm only dating to have a fun time. I'm only here to be friends. I'm only here to be friends with benefits. I respect your decision. You can do what you do. If I feel like I want to be able to give myself to you that way, I will. If I don't, then I just be like, hey, we're not compatible, we do it. But most women nowadays, in my perspective, they look at it like, I want a man, boy, whatever, that stays with me, always gives me love, buys me things that I want. But I also want him to go to work, pay the bills, pay my bills, especially if they don't live together. Help me take care of my kids, or we make a kid and help me take care of that kid as well. They look at it like they want you to be a husband, but without the ring. Now, some women want the ring, but they know most men aren't going to give them that, because they also look at it like, what is you bringing to the table? And if you only bring a cat to the table, most men don't go with that, because, like our grandparents used to say, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Ooh, hey, I couldn't have said anything better. That's smooth. I like that. I like that.
There's plenty of fish in the sea.
Oh, it definitely is. And
I've had many, from my experience, I've had many, and I don't even know how I get to the point of them saying this, because I'm not a difficult partner. I feel as I'm not a difficult partner. Somebody else can have their opinion on me, but I feel like I'm not a difficult partner, because I listen to you. If you want me to be a certain way, I will do that. I will change for the greater good, unless it's just for you to use me. But most dudes have told me, like, if I break up with them or we break up and we might be on bad terms at the same time, they'll be like, I can just get another one just like you. Which is true. You can always find somebody to do more than what you do.
True.
It's just the fact is how they can keep them. Just like, at the same time, my grandma said, it's how you lose, how you got them is how you lose them. So that's why I say a lot of relationships don't last with cheating, because then you get bored of that relationship, or something ain't working out, you go and cheat. You think that person gonna do the same thing for you? They might, like you said, they might do good in the beginning, then they go south.
Yeah, like I would definitely have to agree. Like, I think the same thing it took you to get the woman that you want, the same thing you have to keep doing.
Yeah.
Because the moment that you stop doing that or being what you was at the beginning is when you both kind of like drift apart.
Yes.
But the thing is that when it comes to like people that are in marriages, is that there's no such thing as drifting apart. It's just like, we're married, we need to figure out what do we have to do to make this work.
Yes.
Because me personally, like, I'm a firm believer when it comes to marriage, it ain't no such fucking thing as divorce.
No. It's the death do us part.
Yeah, I tell the girl, look, you talking about divorcing? One of us gotta die. That's how it works. I'm sorry, I'm just a person. Yeah, it's literally the ending of that.
I'm a firm believer on that too. Once I tell you them vows, the death do us part, somebody gonna have to get out, and it ain't gonna be me. And that ain't my problem.
Yeah.
But it really ain't, when it comes to marriages, so relationships are different than marriages, in my opinion.
True.
Relationships, you just getting to know each other, dating or whatever, trying to see if you're compatible to carry on to that marriage stage.
So in that regard of what you're saying, like, do you think that people are confused about the whole dating part because of when you date, you're supposed to be
dating?
I call it this. I call it the auditioning to be a wife and audition to be a husband.
Yes, that is one thing a lot of people take into consideration the wrong way. Mm-hmm. That's why I tell people I date to marry. Mm-hmm. My end goal is to get married. Mm-hmm. Most women my age don't want to get married. They're looking at it like I want to have a hot girl summer before I do all of that. I'm dating to marry because, like you said, you're not here for a long time. And if that's your end goal, you're going to work to that. Mm-hmm. If that's not what your end goal, then by all means, you do what you do.
True.
But if you go back to, like you were saying in part one, mm-hmm. how we want traditional men, mm-hmm. but we don't want to be traditional. If you want a traditional man, he was supposed to court you until y'all got compatible to be married. Mm-hmm. Dating to married is the same thing. Mm-hmm. Now, different aspects plays in that nowadays, because back in them days, having sex before marriage was forbidden.
True.
Nowadays, a lot of women and a lot of men like to have sex first, just to be like, okay, the sex part is straight. I can deal with that for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. Then you got to look at financial. Like you said, most women will like somebody that's already financially stable.
Thanks.
But you do have a certain handful that will be like, okay, he not financially stable, I'm kind of am, let me help build him up. Yeah. And that might can bring y'all together, become one. Then you got some that look at it like, oh, you're not financially stable, but I can't do that. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's different ones.
Yeah, like, because when you said the financially stable part, like, the thing is that if a man is financially stable, he can bring a woman into, into his household and take care of her. And a guy that's not financially stable who can be with a woman that is financially stable. Mm-hmm. But the thing is about a guy that's not financially stable on his own, getting with a woman that's already financially stable, is that he's going to latch onto her like a leech.
Yes.
And pretty much use her until he get where he needs to be financially stable at. Yeah. And then that's when he's going to go after the one he wants, which I call most of those women that end up getting with guys like that to be nothing more than, I call them placeholders.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? For the one.
And I feel like that's horrible because at the end result, you are hurting that one person that helped you get to that. Like how nowadays they look at it like Kanye. He predicted his own damn self when he said you get to that point and then you leave her for a white girl. Mm-hmm. You see that so much in celebrity relationships. Black man gets with a white woman most of the time do get with a black man because they know there's somebody that's going to hold them down. Then you also have some of them that it'd be a shock to some people, but you'll see a black lady and all of that with a white dude. And I really don't see that as racist. I see that as stability. Because you got to look at it like, I mean, it is a race part aspect that come from it if you think that way. But in all reality, like I said, if you was a hardcore Christian, love is love, regardless. It don't matter what race, what ethnicity, whatever. Yeah. But it comes to stability. Some people don't see themselves compatible with their same ethnicity. Yeah. Some people do. I personally don't give a damn. No, I don't know. If you love me, you love me. I just don't give a damn. I ain't give a damn. But you got some that look at it like, I want to continue that black love that my family for generations had. Yeah. You got some that be like, I want to venture out and just see what's in the water. Yeah. And that still comes into marriage because stability. Yeah. Some women, black women, might see it as, I don't know, Carl might not be doing that much, but Chad might be. So you might gravitate towards Chad if Chad wants you. Mm-hmm. But if you can't get Chad, you gonna go back to your black roots because them is the ones that's gonna want you. Mm-hmm. Unless you get somebody else. And most of the time, I wish people will understand that most of the time, when a black woman or a black man get with another race, sometimes it be for fetishes on that other race. It do not be for the simple fact that you love that person. It is a fetish. You just don't know it.
Mm.
And you will figure it out somewhere down the line when some things go on and they start saying different stuff.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not always that case.
Yeah. Like, I think the thing that people get confused when it comes to that whole dynamic, because when a black man, you know what I'm saying, is say with a white girl, for instance, or a black woman with a white man, you know what I'm saying, like, it's more of a thing of like, when a black woman was with a white man, she feel, I guess, she can fall more into her feminine side. But for some odd reason, in the reflex of it, like, it's hard for her to be with a black man. I'm not saying in all cases, but in majority of cases, that's the reason why black men venture out on that. Because it's like, you got to battle with a sister to be able to get a sister to see that we're not here to battle with you. And it's just like,
my honest opinion with that, y'all, I really wish you understand why black people are compatible with black people. We are compatible with each other, but you have to think about all the things we went through, generational stuff, slavery. Slavery is a big part of it, because if you actually listen to your history, the black man was humiliated and all of this. In the woman's eyes, we looked at it like, why you weren't man enough to stand up to the white man and do this? In the man's eyes, he submitted to the white man to make sure you and your kids lived. But a lot of people don't see that. They cover up history so much to where you don't know. And so many people from that era might be dead or now you can't really just talk to them about that. I have the blessing to still have my great grandma that was born into slavery. So she tell us these things. And she was like, a lot of people don't know that. That is where the disconnect from black people come from. Is, I wouldn't just say slavery wise, but that's really a big part of it because of how we was treated and how the world sees us and how we all seen us as ourselves.
Okay, so in that sense though, why should the black man have to suffer, even though he has already suffered in his own way? Because like, the thing is black men and black women, we both have our own traumas. But the thing is that the black man never ever put his traumas upon the black woman. The woman put her traumas upon the black man. And that's where you gotta ask yourself, it's like, a black man that has worked so hard to get himself into, you know what I'm saying, the position that he is in to stabilize himself, why get with a sister that only wants to bring chaos to his peace?
And I feel that I don't agree with, I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. Because it has been instances where I have got with somebody that was kind of more stable than me. And I felt like we shouldn't be together. I would tell them, I don't think we should be together. I feel like I'm bringing you down. I feel like you should be with somebody that might be at your level. See, like, this is where things always go downhill. Like, because in a black woman's mind, she feel like she has to be equal to the man. But you gotta understand that's how it was taught.
I know, and guess who you got it from though?
Them bitter mamas.
Yes. So therefore, if you learn that from a bitter mama that you need to be equal to a man, that ends up making you single more than ever. That's the reason why you can go on, you can literally look this up. The more money and educational a woman becomes, the more
likely they got a whole family.
The less of her chance of her finding a man that want to be with her.
And that's where I look at it like us women, black women especially, need to learn. Like, we need to learn to let your guard down, be more on your feminine side. Because I understand you gotta have your survival tactics to make sure you work out for your kids. But if you're in the scenario of you already got a husband, y'all kids, y'all working like y'all got to do, you a dang doctor, he might be a real estate agent, baby, you don't need to have your guard up no more unless he just do something to like, or you like, but you need to be more on your feminine side. You need to break those generational curses, and that's one thing I've learned to do is break the curses. Like, I've seen family members, female family members, struggle with kids. Ain't had no man in this and that. And like, I don't want to be like that.
Like, that's one thing that, cause like I had recently I had a black woman that was doing it on her own. Like, she had her son and she's taking care of him, and she'll tell you right now she wished that the father that she had her son by, you know what I'm saying, would be in her son's life and be a part of that. Not even just helping her pay the bills or nothing like that, just literally just be there to help guide her son into being a man.
Because one thing I will tell, I don't know why so many women believe this, a woman cannot raise a man.
Facts.
A woman cannot raise a man. You can raise him to be more in touch with his feminine side, but doing too much of that, and he will be a feminine boy, or he would just like to be a girl at that point.
True.
And that's why I look at it like I'm glad that my child's father is in his life and still giving him direction. Yeah. Because that's important. I don't know why I've heard so many people like, oh, the daddy don't need to be there, they'll be okay. No. You need a two-parent house. I don't know why these people don't be listening to these folks, but in statistics, it is very common to really supposed to have a two-parent household. A one-parent household brings chaos because you got to be the role model for either way. And I'm not just saying for single mothers, single dads too, because then you also got to be the lady for the baby. That's where the disconnect comes from for anything. True. It's generations. A lot of stuff stem back from back in times. Yeah. And going back to the relationship wise, that stems back in time. Yeah. Because you have to grow up and look. Like I said, environment is a big key in everything too. True. I don't know why people don't think your environment is nothing, but your environment you pick up a lot from your environment.
The thing is that when you look at most of these NBA players that come from rough neighborhoods, the trauma that they had to go through, the gangs, the drugs, you know what I'm saying, the violence that was there, and you see them become successful, you know what I'm saying, just to get their mother out of that kind of like neighborhood, or their father out of that neighborhood or whatever. Or the lucky ones that have both parents, you know what I'm saying, get them out that neighborhood to give them a better life because of what they seen and what they done. But the thing is that we know as men, we have to be held accountable for our problems and our situations and everything. The only thing is that nowadays you sit on like a lot of different platforms, a lot of different podcasts from TV, news, and everything else that's letting you know at the same time that even though men are being held accountable, a lot of women are not being held accountable as well.
Yes, that's one thing that I can say when I get on Twitter. I don't use my Twitter like that, but I get on there for the controversial mess of the world. Because it's good to be in the know. You never know. Somebody asks you a topic of a question and you be like, I don't know about that. You're missing out on the world. And the main thing that I see in the comments or anything online is gender roles. They feel like on Twitter, most people feel like the woman shouldn't be held accountable. She's just a feminine woman in her emotions. And then when something comes to the man, oh, he should have known better. He should have did this and that. No, you should hold any human being should be held accountable for any action they have been done or have said or whatever. That's accountability goes for any and everybody. Fact. Just like you would scold your child for touching something because that's accountability. Don't switch up when they get older and be like, oh, that's just my baby. And it gets worse when it comes to men that are raised with single mothers. Because back again with the gender roles, when it comes to single mothers, they boys are treated better than the girls. Because the first thing in their mind is, I don't want my little girl to grow up like I did. But you hinder and smother the boys, and then they grow up being abusive or soft or something. And now you look like, I don't know why my boys is like that. That's where it also comes in the role that the father needs to be there too. True. And not just for the boys, for the girls. A girl need her father too to show her how a man is supposed to treat her. If you ain't got that, these girls are gonna run around looking like, oh, he abusing me, but that's love. Or, oh, he lets me do whatever I want, so that's love. No. And it's vice versa for a boy. A father needs to be in the boy's life to tell him to treat a woman and to do this. It's too many women being killed just because she say, no, I don't want to date with you. Or no, I don't want to go with you. It's too many men being killed because they don't know how to control their woman, or they don't know how to tell them no or something like that, and then snapped. Women get mad because you don't want to continue to spend money, or you don't want to be with them no more. So, like I said, it all comes back to environment and how you was taught, how you was raised.
I would definitely have to agree. It's just like, it just kills me that it's hard to find a balance in between the two, because when a man says he wants a woman to be traditional because women say they want a traditional man, it's hard for a woman to be traditional because she think that, oh, I can go out here in my 18 to like 26 to 30 or whatever and just have my hot girl summer and then be like, oh yeah, I'm ready to settle down. Even though
too late.
Because the thing is that when you get with a man, he has to compete with all the men that satisfy you. Because the thing that I did in my job, I did this little just survey with like some of the females on my job, and I asked them a basic question. I was like, out of all the men that has been able to satisfy you sexually, is it the man that you're with? And every time they say no. So then therefore it's just like, and like even like some dudes be like, I don't care how many bites my girls got.
They be lying.
Yeah, and then I sit them down and I got the girl by beside them and I ask them that basic question. And once they hear that word, they look at the girl like, what you just say? So you saying that whoever this dude is did it better than me?
There you go.
Like, cause that's a man's ego in his way, cause his thing is to be able to satisfy you, to be able to feed. Cause a lot of women tell me like, I wish I could tell a dude that used to blow my back out how to tell my man how to blow my back out. You know what I'm saying? And it's just
and
like,
that's not doing nothing but creating more tension between you and your partner because you're comparing. Comparing is never good unless you're doing it in a comparative, like strategic kind of way.
yeah,
But comparing your partner to somebody else, if that's the case, why you didn't stay with that person? Like you said, that must mean that that person done some or wasn't some that you wanted to be and they only satisfied you on one part.
yeah,
You can never compare another person to another person.
yeah.
Everybody is unique in their own ways. Just like we tell parents, don't compare your one child to another child. Then it draws tension in the household.
Yeah. But the thing is that for men, it's always we have to have our competitive nature. Because without that competitive nature, we can never strive to do anything. You know what I'm saying? When you see guys on the basketball team or on the football team, you see they competing to try to win. You know what I'm saying? It's that's what you need as a man.
And that's not bad. You can be competitive in a way to where you're looking like, oh, this is my woman. I need to keep up my standards to keep her. But it goes both ways.
Facts.
Women look at it like, oh, he with me, he can't get another lady. Girl, it's another big booty Judy around the corner that he'll definitely go. Because I won't say all men, but most men do think with the other head.
Oh,
they don't think with the top, they think with the bottom.
Well, most definitely.
Like it goes back to my surroundings of when they say, is other fish in the sea. You might think you all that in a bag of chips, but baby, he'll find a whole Lay's bag in a minute. And it's vice versa with the man, with the woman doing the same thing to the man. Like a woman, I look at it like what my grandma used to tell me. A woman get who they can get. No, a woman get who they want. A man gets who they can get.
True.
I feel that's bad because it should be more of both get what they want and both can get what they get. But when it comes to a woman, all you gotta do is open your legs and you can get whoever you want.
Thank you.
But when it comes to a man, you can't just be slanging daylight around and think you're finna get any and everybody.
Yeah.
Because then you attract the wrong one.
Yeah.
But if still vice versa, you attract the wrong one with a woman.
I had to tell a girl like this, I was like, if every tree in the world had a vagina, a vagina, how many men you think would be stroking trees?
Baby, it's a lot.
Thank you. And the thing is that I asked the girl this simple thing. I was like, what do you think the percentage is of men actually getting laid?
What percentage is love?
Like, just pick a percentage. Like, is it like 60, 70?
50.
50? Only 20%.
Bless y'all heart. Bless y'all heart, babies.
20% of men are getting laid.
And I'm surprised because nowadays, looking at social media and just looking at experiences that I see with friends and family, these ladies just out there opening their legs.
Okay, but answer this question. When the guys that they sleep with, do they have kids majority of the time?
Most of them do, actually.
So that means that majority of the women are sleeping with the same men. True. So if it wasn't for that, like a lot of women don't realize, like when you see a guy that have kids or whatever, 9 times out of 10, it's a lot of girls that are sleeping with the guy that have kids and stuff like that. Or the guy that got the money. Yeah. They can take him on trips.
Yeah.
That'll be simping for him, like pay for the dinners and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one thing I can say about my generation is, first thing they say is, can you fly me out? Can you take me out? They expect you to pay for everything and everything. Now, I'm not going to lie. If I'm going to be the traditional person, if you taking me out, you going to take me out, which means you pay for everything and all of that. But if we have the understanding of, okay, I'll take you out one day, you take me out one day, that's cool. But most women look at it now as in, oh, he taking me out, this and that. I could trick him for some money. I could trick him for a free meal.
Yeah.
Vice versa to where it's with a boy, he looking at like, oh, I'm going to take her out to see if she's the one. Most men, I wouldn't say really looking for marriage, but they are looking for something to keep sometimes. Sometimes.
Okay. Oh, well, let me give you the lowdown on that a little bit. For men, when it comes to us taking a girl out on a date, the result is sex. I'm just gonna be honest.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't
like,
get.
it's
I
sex.
don't disagree with you on that.
And the thing is that the thing that a lot of women get confused about is that only after sex, if you show that you have a value beyond sex, that a relationship or a marriage is something that we think about. But for majority of guys, it's mainly just sex.
Yep. Yes. And I feel you on that. I do not disagree with that. I really believe it because I've had some, like I said, in my experiences tell me that I tell anybody straight up, not all women do this, not all men do that. The first thing I say when I get on any dating sites or when I talk to anybody in person or something, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. What you looking for? If you can be honest, in which it's a whole different subject with that honesty stuff. Cause some people still lie even though you tell them to be honest.
Yeah.
I've had some that be like, okay, this is the breakdown. I just want to sleep with you. If you can do that on a first day basis, I feel like a lot of people will get laid. Okay. Well, I feel like they will, but it might not be the case.
I'm gonna be honest. If a guy took you out on a date, he said, "I want to fuck you after we get done eating," what you gonna say? Thank you. Thank you. You gonna be like,
no.
No.
I wasn't finna say that. No, I was finna say, yeah.
What? You ain't gonna say that.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Because like I said, it comes to the terms of a lot of these women now are materialistic. Mm-hmm. If you can take me out to eat, wouldn't have to me paying nothing, you buy me something, buy me a Birkin bag or something, yeah, I'm finna open these legs. But if you take me to McDonald's or something and think I'm just finna open these legs for a McChicken, no. No. But I mean, it's vice versa with a man. A man, like you said, some men don't live up to a woman's standard, but they still want them. They leech on to them. Mm-hmm. So if a man can get with a woman that's going to take him, because like I said, the masculinity come out in some women. You take them out to eat, you wine and dine with your man, showing them off. Of course she going to open them legs to you because that's her man and she want to see what's that. But you not wrong with that. Yeah. Because I've had some women that be like, oh girl, he took me out to eat this snack and he ain't getting nothing though. Mm. That's really fucking up his mentality. Because like I said, a lot of stuff stems from sex nowadays. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times most people nowadays will only know they're compatible with somebody if they know the sex is great.
True.
If you know the sex gonna be boring, you gotta come up with a hell of a lot of more stuff to put on the table for me to be with you. Then that's when most people are not gonna lie.
Hey, that's
and I hate it because back in the days, sex, like I said, sex wasn't a good topic until after marriage.
You know, there was, like you just said, you said it has to be sex. But the thing is, if you think about it, women were virgins that wouldn't know other types of sex.
Exactly.
That's the reason why.
And that's why I said it's so corrupted nowadays. We're trying to get married because a lot of women and a lot of men are not virgins.
Well, men weren't virgins. I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, they weren't virgins at all anyway. But the women,
yeah. The women were on the pure because they were like our angel, and we was like the demon that was do everything for. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like. In today's age, a woman wants a king when she's not a queen.
A woman will, yeah.
Like I have had.
And it is so, I'm not gonna lie to you, me being a black lady myself, it is so hard to find queens out here. When the first thing they listening to, and I'm not gonna lie, I listen to you folks too now. I know my worth, so I know my worth now. I'm still like material now. But I've got a few friends out here that's listening to these city girls and stuff like that and think they ain't gotta cook and clean like Cardi B said, but baby, that's not gonna keep a man.
But guess what? You seen Cardi B cook
and clean. So, because Offset knew she was lying. And he took them videos like she still could clean.
Oh, facts.
And that's why I be looking at it like you can't be out here just throwing these words out and think you finna get somebody that's gonna cater to you.
That's the reason why, man. So even right now, boy, man, that's just tough because people don't understand, like, yeah, that music sounds good and all that. It sounds good to be a dream. Yeah. But for reality now. And that's where
because a lot of men are looking at it like, I'm not finna put myself out here for somebody that ain't gonna put themselves out at the same place. Mm-hmm. And a lot of women is looking like, I'm not gonna put myself out here if he ain't finna put himself out here. But a lot of women are looking at it like, okay, he put himself out there. Let me see how long he can do that before I try. And that's where you fucking up at. I'm not gonna lie to you.